Welcome back to Magpie Movies for a brand new video with me, Paul, aka Jody Paul. Thanks very much for popping in. Today, as you probably saw from the title, is going to be my quick review of The Batman. I know everyone's doing their review of it, and I thought, one, I'm going to jump on the bandwagon, and two, I want to put across my feelings about the movie. So yes, you can see I'm doing a bit of a different camera angle as well here. I've recently moved this set of bookshelves that was over here, moved the TV across. It gives a bit more room, floor base, because the TV unit isn't sticking out. But yes, so welcome to the channel. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, drop me a sub, and hit the notification bell so whenever I do a new video, you'll be the first one to know, because it'll pop up on your phone or wherever you got your notifications going to. So yesterday was the Friday the 4th of March. I pre-booked my tickets for the Batman here in Darlington at the View branch to go and see the Batman last night at 8 PM. I went with my friend Lee, who I do all my cinema trips with, and I randomly bumped into a work colleague which I hadn't seen in a while. So we'll just go through a few things and I'll give you my overview of how I thought the film was at the end. So, The Batman, yes, directed by Matt Reeves. The film itself is on for 2 hours 55 minutes, which is a runtime of 175 minutes, so just shy of 3 hours. Yes, so we'll go on the runtime in a bit. So yes, it's nearly a 3-hour film. As I said, directed by Matt Reeves, who did War for the Planet, who did Cloverfield in 2008, which is one of my favourite films. He did the remake of Let Me In 2010. He did Dawn for the Planet of the Apes, the second of the Planet of the Apes movies, in 2014, and then did War for the Planet of the Apes as a director in 2017. And that is the last film he directed before The Batman, which obviously got released this year. So in terms of release dates, this is the first film he's released since War for the Planet of the Apes in 5 years. So the film itself, as we all know, stars Robert Pattinson in the role of Bruce Wayne or the Batman. It has Zoe Kravitz, Lenny Kravitz's daughter, as Catwoman. We've got Paul Dano as the Riddler. We also have Colin Farrell and extensive prosthetics and makeup as Oswald Cobblepot the Penguin. We also have Jeffrey Wright as Lieutenant Gordon, I'm guessing to become Commissioner Gordon. And obviously we have an ensemble cast to go with them as well. The film itself obviously is shot over different locations in the UK as well as in America. We know that the Liver building in Liverpool was used, as well as a graveyard scene was used in the Liverpool area as well. So they're in there only for like split seconds, if that. The music itself, orchestral theme-wise, is done from Michael Giacchino, which presents a good somber tone to the music. And the one kind of, I won't say pop song, but the one rock song and kind of lyrical song is Something in the Way by Nirvana, which is played twice or 3 times within the film, and we also hear that within the trailer. So that's a bit of a background situation. The film itself, storyline-wise, is that we find Bruce Wayne in his mock-up of Batman 2 years after taking on the cowl and the cape to the streets of Gotham. We are lucky, because I know it's done in every other film, that there is no, and I repeat, no flashback moment to how his parents were killed. We do have a moment which is in there as a kind of news feature with regards to Gotham City TV or whatever news network it is, because it's coming up to whatever anniversary, 20th anniversary, up to where his mother and father got assassinated. The story is basically, like I said, is Batman in his second year. He's created a friendship with to-be Commissioner Gordon, and there are murders starting to happen within Gotham City who have been attributed to the Riddler, played by Paul Dano. It's not something he was to find out. They know it's him because he tells everybody it's him, because he does live streams and he leaves letters to the Batman. But it's also around about political corruption as well as within the Gotham City Police Department and the current run-up for mayor, which is in that current timeline, and that's a scenario. So yeah, so that's it. Batman himself doesn't really get called Batman other than by the Riddler himself. Other than that, he just calls himself Vengeance. So that is basically the plot. So we'll go through a few things. Before we get into the few things, I thought I'd point out two homages that I noticed within the movie itself. There is a scene that has Alfred there, played by Andy Serkis, who obviously Matt Reeves worked with regards to the Planet of the Apes, and he's also the motion capture for King Kong, and he was also obviously in the motion capture for Gollum in Lord of the Rings. There's a scene with him and it is Alfred, and in the background there's the bust of, like, I think it's Shakespeare, I could be wrong, with like the beard and the moustache, which is in the original 1960s Batman, where he lifts the head up and presses the button to open the slide or they go down the poles. Now I could be wrong, but I noticed that straight away. And also I noticed that whenever Zoe Kravitz's Catwoman was on, as in Selena Kyle, the music had that kind of thin violin that was used within Batman Returns for when Michelle Pfeiffer played the Catwoman. Again, those are the only two things I picked up on, and I could be wrong on both of them. The film itself, like I said earlier on, was on for 3 hours. Although I was getting tired, but it was because I watched at 8 and I'd had a full day's work up at 8 in the morning. It did feel like just over a 2-hour movie. I did feel it could have been condensed a bit. If I've got a nitpick, there's only two things I would nitpick with this film. One would be the length. I think it could be shortened. And secondly, there's a bit towards the end, which I didn't quite get, where I'll try not to spoil it, but there's a scene at a graveyard and Batman turns up and that person who's there gets a shock, but then he arrives on his motorbike because you see him leave on his motorbike, and I'm like, well, the motorbike's quite loud, so how did you not hear him coming up with the motorbike? But by the by, those are the two nitpicks I've got with the film. The acting is great by Pattinson. It is very much a Batman film, not a Bruce Wayne becoming Batman film. He has already become Batman, so you don't really see Bruce Wayne. He's not in his kind of Wayne Foundation scenario. It's basically focusing on his nighttime becoming the Batman. He lives, breathes, wants to be this Batman. It is more of a detective film as opposed to, again, superheroes as such. He's helping the Lieutenant Gordon to solve the crime, and is very much along the lines of Seven, where they've got to collect up the dots, do loads of different scenarios and put maps up and go where the Riddler's going to go next and such. But yeah, Zoe Kravitz is great supporting cast as Catwoman. Paul Dano is great as well. I thought Jeffrey Wright was excellent as well. Colin Farrell's prosthetics makeup is amazing, because unless we knew that was Colin Farrell, which we did going into it, I don't think we would know from watching it, because his New York kind of accent is really good. But yeah, overall the film itself I thoroughly enjoyed. Did I think it was better than Nolan's Batman trilogy? It's hard to say, because the trilogy obviously is 3 films and this is 1. If this is going to be made into a trilogy itself, then I'll compare it. But with regards to, is it better than Batman 1989, which is my all-time favourite Batman movie? I'd say it was. It's got a lovely dark tone. It seems to rain a hell of a lot in Gotham. I'm like, you can tell they probably filmed it in the UK because it is hoying it down. I actually turned to my mate and went, does it ever stop raining? But it's very foreboding. He does all these vengeance and everything in the night as such, so Batman is very much in the dark. You don't know whether he's going to come out of a dark corner at some times, because he is obviously prays in the night. But yeah, overall excellent film. I'm going to let it, sit a bit in my mind, so thinking about it a bit more. I want to watch it again before I can say whether it's better than, like I said, Batman, Tim Burton's Batman with Michael Keaton, or The Dark Knight from Christian Bale and Christopher Nolan. But yeah, is it better than Justice League? It's thereabouts. I don't know, I just thoroughly enjoyed. I thought it was really good. Came out of it. I like the tone to it. I like it was darker, less comic booky. It was just really, really good. So overall, I would give the film itself a scoring of 9.5 out of 10. I'm not going to give it a perfect score of 10 out of 10. It's only a 9.5 from my point of view, because I said there are a few things in it and I want to rewatch it again before I might hit that 10 target. But no, 9.5 out of 10 is what I would score it. And if you haven't seen it, please do so. It's definitely a film you want to watch at the cinema and not one you want to sit and stream on your phone or watch on the telly. Yeah, fair enough when you get it in 4K or you haven't got a chance to go to the cinema, and that's fair enough. But yeah, so there you go. 9.5 out of 10 is my score. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching. I just wanted to quickly put my view across of it. I thoroughly enjoyed this film. Thought it was excellent and well worth watching. So thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. This is Jody Paul, last surviving member of Magpie Movies. Thoroughly enjoyed The Batman, and I'll see you all on my next video. Bye for now.